First leg, Mervyn to throw first. Game on.
Well, the pre-show is over. Let's get on with the darts.
Send for another board.
120.
Luckily, that was only 20 on the floor.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. What a start. Peter Wright was nowhere near his best against Simon Whitlock this afternoon. It was a really poor display from the pair of them, and Peter Wright is lucky to be here. But he got through that game, and he's bought himself the opportunity to turn it on this evening. And there aren't many people with better records at turning it on in the latter stages of European Tour events than this man.
100.
I was talking to Peter after his victory last night, and he immediately wanted to talk to me about the longer stem. He has been trialling these at home with exactly
60.
the same flight and exactly the same barrel that he's been using for the last 5 or 6 weeks, and he loves this dart. But I think it's the stem element. He's trying to find the exact right
65.
balance. He really thinks that this has got promise, and those words from Peter are encouraging, because I think he understands that it's not a quick fix. It's something that he's going to have to trial, and it's worked okay this weekend so far.
156.
But if he starts this final a little bit better, he might find that that big average is just around the corner.
Yeah, he was decent against Richie Edhouse. It was average getting on for 99.
60.
And that's kind of what you expect Peter Wright to do every time he turns up on stage on the European Tour. It's not what he's been doing in the Premier League this year, but that's done and dusted now.
137.
And this 96
Peter
checkout is always a good
96.
yardstick for measuring where Peter Wright is in his game. Treble 20 for double 18. If it's single 20, he could go double-double.
He's going to stay, is he? If you're going to stay on the 60, you really want to throw that dart very hard against the first one. Just came up short. And Merv has been killer on tops this weekend. Not this time.
38.
Neither on 10s. That was the double that cost him the Masters against James Wade. Peter Wright, can he take tops? Yes, he can.
Peter Wright.
1-0 to
Second leg,
Snake
Peter
Bite.
to throw first.
17
Game
dart
on.
leg, but more importantly, a break of throw in this one. And it is a long time since Mervyn King beat Peter Wright. That was in a Players' Championship event back when they played him in Crawley. It was a K2, wasn't it?
45.
Yeah. Great place.
That was the 23rd of March, 2014. It is that long since
85.
Mervyn King beat Peter Wright.
That's amazing.
Well, they did have one meeting on the Euro Tour in that
100.
time, and it was a final. European Darts Open in 2017. Peter Wright winning that one by 6 legs to 2 against Merv.
Yeah, that was the first time we ever went to Leverkusen.
It was indeed. It was middle of the year, sandwiched in between 4 Michael van Gerwen titles. Peter Wright picked up his 4th of the year. Best year of his career, 2017. The best year of, well, most careers, to be honest. It was an astonishing year for Peter Snakebite Wright.
He will say it's the
100.
best year of his career so far. He's very much looking forward at the minute. He looks way more energised than he did during the Premier League for me. A lot more relaxed, and that was a bit shouldery, that last start, but it was effective. I'm not sure about the outfit though. I don't think the pants go with the shirt.
Well, yeah, I did think that, but Joe is here to be his sartorial guide.
76.
So I don't want to criticise it, because you got on the wrong side of Joe. Tops. Peter Wright on the right side of a 2-0 lead.
Mervyn to throw first. Game on.
I am, however, a big fan of the shirt. I know that the artwork on the back of this new shirt, it took some time to get right. Because ordinarily before, he just had the sparkly stuff on the back, didn't he? It was like a transfer. But this is some proper artwork.
It's got that sort of
60.
touch of the Paul Nicholson's about it, the sort of designer sportswear. Yeah, just a real top quality breathable fabric. Just lets me be me as a darts player and play my best.
78.
Got to feel good up there, and you've got to look good. You know, I'm not a fan of shirts that don't make you look good, and I'm not going to name names, but there's a couple that I don't like. It doesn't make them look good, but that one makes Peter
100.
look good for me. It fits him. That's what I'm saying.
Look,
there are players who wear shirts that don't fit them.
It is one of the. There are many things that are guaranteed at Euro Tour events nowadays. You are
81.
guaranteed to have a right old Euro sing-along at some point. You're guaranteed to get some top quality darts. And you're guaranteed at some point over the weekend nowadays to get
100.
the arrival of Paul Nicholson's alter ego Gok One Dart, who will give you various fashion critiques from this marvellous sport.
Shouldn't that be Peter Manley?
Well, yeah, that.
Got 1 dot. Yeah, Mervyn has new shirts himself, gone for the all black, which is, I don't know, it suits his walk-on song. Bit of Motorhead.
37.
Keeping it nice and simple, old school. I think these guys have been friends for a very long time, and I think Mervyn secretly very, very proud of what Peter's achieved.
122.
Because for me, these are the 2 best players that have ever graced the world stage from East Anglia.
Well, they are incredible, these 2. And a bullseye would see Merv get on the board.
97.
You can't quite
Video
place it in there.
160.
This would be a real body blow. It's on, and it looks good, that one. No surprise he follows it. Oh my!
140.
He was just trying to rescue that dart because when he brought it back, it was just a bit short. And that's when your shoulder gets involved, but it's double 8 for Merv. Beautifully done. Bit of a scare in that one for the King, but he was up to it once he got the chance. I like the way these darts go with a bigger stem in. When you have the longer stem, you think about players like Dave Chisnell and Gary Anderson, for instance, who throw a very similar DNA of dart.
100.
The amount of stability they've got in the air with that longer stem is very evident, and the amount of scoring power that they have with that. I think these darts go into a very consistent angle, and he's able to nestle them even better and have more consistency, because when you have shorter stems, they fly faster.
Yeah, similar with flights, isn't it? You know, the big flight slows the dart down a bit, but should keep it more stable.
129.
But if it is at least going through the air in a uniform manner, then you should be able to have more predictable deflections, shouldn't you?
Yes.
And deflections is one of the things that Peter Wright has experimented. You know, he had the bendy points, various different incarnations of them, because he's been trying to figure out
92. Video
what's the best
160.
way of utilising the darts he's got in the board to find the target areas he wants.
No shot at double 18.
60.
And no leave on a 1 darter, but
70.
Oh. He said he required 170. But he actually has 180. And Merv has just corrected it. So fair play to Merv. He's not stolen the extra 10 points. Could have stolen the leg.
I think that shows very good leg awareness. A lot of guys would have just gone for that 170.
140. Video require 56.
He does set it up very well.
It's been great on tops in this leg. Sorry, in this match so far. Misses it this time.
36.
Misses 10s, and Mervyn gets a poke at tops.
40.
To level the match. 2-2.
Beautiful play.
Mervyn King, a
Mervyn
13 darter. Back on terms in this one.
5th leg, Mervyn to throw first. Game on.
When you're talking about choker errors, I heard a beauty today from Keegan Brown, who was having a chat with me backstage, and I asked him if he'd qualified for Copenhagen, and he said no.
55.
Apparently, he was 5-4 up on Rhys Robinson in the qualification game, and the chalker left 41 on the iPad. He goes up to the board,
96.
hits the 41 for the match. Rhys Robinson said, "Well played, congratulations." And in the time that they were talking to each other, the chalker had said, "Oh no, sorry, you had 40 left." Rhys Robinson then took out the shot and then won the match.
93.
Ooh. So as a consequence, and let's bear in mind that Keegan Brown is on the bubble of the match player. He's not in Copenhagen now.
Well.
140.
Intriguing.
It's fair to say that Keegan wasn't very pleased with that.
55.
And Merv was not pleased with that visit. That last start was thrown away in disgust. And there's a critical point in this game here. Someone's got to take it by the scruff of the neck.
57.
Now, Mervyn said earlier that he was struggling to see at the end of the game with
140.
Rodriguez. You could see in the last couple of legs he was squinting a lot.
It is a lot harder to play this game if you can't actually see what you're throwing at.
45.
Oh, and that
Moving
5
on,
hurts him.
58.
Leaves him on a bogey number. So Merv, well, didn't have to go 60-60 for 38. And if had the idea of splitting it anyway, then you can go any way you like. And he's managed to leave himself on tops again.
100. Mervyn, you require 40.
Yeah, he's been doing that a lot this weekend with great success. Not
No
this
score.
time, a good centimetre and a half
63.
high. So Peter gets a shot that he probably didn't think he would get.
Keeper's nose in front. Double 16 he wants.
47.
Well, he started pretty well in
Mervyn,
this
you
one,
require
Peter,
40.
right? But it's just sort of fading a touch, isn't it?
Double 10 for Merv. Is that too close? Can you see enough for that?
30.
But it flicked off the barrel, didn't it?
Peter, you require
It was too close.
16.
And maybe he should have moved Merv, but if he is struggling, if he is still in pain, then it might have been part of his decision not to. And it might have cost him the leg, and it might cost him the match, and it might cost him a spot
Six flag, Peter,
in the final, winning the
first.
title, and that could
Game
cost
on.
him places in major tournaments.
A lot of these players who are in this tournament, and let's face it, everybody who's left in it has won a Euro Tour before, so they know all about the intricacies of Sunday on the Euro Tour.
140.
Most of them do say that the quarter-final is the hardest match because it's the match after that big break.
180.
But there's not much of a break for whoever does come through this one. Bang, bang, bang. Quarter semis final. If you are going to go all the way and win it, it's about who can hit form in this final session. And we have already seen that Gerwyn Price looks in red hot form.
96.
He looks
been the
energised as well.
Yeah.
He had a little break, didn't he, after the Premier League finished, and he said yesterday he's feeling very energised. He's going to be a huge threat against MVG next.
Well, he is the standout
60.
performer so far from this session.
Why doesn't Peter Wright go for the 51 there? I don't get that. He's got two blocker darts in front of that 60 when Merv is lurking.
140.
And you've got a 51 downstairs or even a 57 to try and leave that finish. And then he just bangs it into the two blocker darts.
He is a stubborn man on that treble 20, Peter Wright. But it's the treble 19 that helps him out in this instance.
Big shot this, 20 for Bull. Big 20.
60.
Just under that bullseye, in the shadows
Peter,
of that
requires
bullseye wire.
72.
And this 72, this would sting the king.
Can he sting the king on the outer ring?
56. Mervyn, you require 25.
It wasn't close. And Mervyn needs the double that Peter's left. That double 8 is getting an absolute thrashing in this game. And
7 flag Mervyn to throw first.
sometimes the facial expressions of Merv, no matter what mood you're in, they will cheer you up.
Yeah.
I would love to have known what he was thinking there when he just put his tongue underneath his bottom lip.
81.
He's incredibly good company sometimes when he's in one of his funny moods.
Well, there you see Peter Wright outscoring Merv at the start of legs.
100.
But they've both missed a whole load of doubles. And Merv, to be fair, some of his best stuff has come in the setup phase of legs, leaving himself
100.
on decent finishes after 12 or 15 darts.
That dart there, I'm pretty convinced that it's Merv who actually taught him to throw that one. You know that dart when they go to the right side of the hockey and they sneak it in on the angle?
60.
These are the two best exponents of that dart. No need to move when it's there.
100.
Doesn't work out for him though. Peter Wright, after the first dart, really would have been expecting to be on a finish, and we could be seeing yet another break of throw. There have been more breaks than holds in this match,
100.
and it's just indicative of a game where neither man has been able to be consistent. There's some good stuff, and then just when you think they might have found a groove, it sort of drifts away from them, and the other guy takes over.
100. Mervyn, you go on 160.
That might be good enough. It's going to be good enough to get him back to the board.
60.
With a double out.
76.
Merv squares up to 100. How many darts will Peter Wright get at a double here? Just the one, but he's going to stay up top. No big adjustment. Double 18 for the lead again.
40.
Well, he's been burnt going
Mervyn,
for double
you
16 a couple of times in this
100.
game, and double 18 is no less hazardous for him.
Tops again. And it's come to his rescue this time.
Mervyn King.
Mervyn King
to throw first.
leads in
Game
this
on.
match for the first time. He is 2 legs away from a first victory in 5 years against his mate
100.
Snakebite.
Now, Merv said to me yesterday when he won that he then thought that he was safe for the match
100.
play.
Yeah,
I didn't agree with him. I just let him talk about it. I thought he probably needed to make the semi-finals. Now, he's got £5,000 here by making the quarter-finals. That has put him in the box seat to get there. It's not guaranteed because there are events to go. However, I feel that if he was to win this
96.
game, I think he's done enough.
well, it would be an extra £1.5 for Mervyn King on his ranking if he does win this game, but it's been such an unpredictable one, and it only takes Peter Wright to up it by a few percent. It's not very much.
60.
And this could be the best leg of the match. 81 left, could go in 2 darts for an 11-darter. Need all 3. Double 16 again. And Peter Wright does spin double 16 for a 12-dart leg and levels the match up.
Makes it look easy sometimes, doesn't it?
Game on.
This game's had everything in it. Peter thought it was his throw there. He just looked over to Joe and said, just had a meltdown. Happens to us all.
57.
I was always the kind of player, because that's happened to me as well, where if I didn't know, I'd stand back and wait for the ref to tell me.
100.
Oh, look at that. It's a beautiful second dart. Oh, just as good on the third. He really has been throwing well this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, that was Mervyn King placing them in. And the last one, it was just done, he may as well have just walked up to the board and put it in there. He threw that in the manner of a man who just knew that it was going there.
Oh, Merv comes from a generation of dart players that if you had a good throw, you would get wins. Bad throws didn't win tournaments in the 90s. Think about it. Fordham, Priestley, Burnett, Beaton.
100.
All great throws. Nothing erratic. It's very, very graceful.
Not sure you'd say the same about Burnett right now, would you? Graceful is not particularly a word.
He used to be.
Yeah, it's evolved.
Ooh,
Oh, that is a fantastic shot, but it's 161. Something of a favourite of snake bites.
Well, this is the epitome of the heartbreaker shot. Not going to get there. He thought when he threw that was going in the 60. He's going to have to go at the bull now.
90.
Gets it.
Mervyn, you require 16.
Double eight has taken a bit of a battering at the hands of Mervyn King in this match. This time he does move. It's not in.
12.
And neither is double four, and that one seemed a little bit reachy.
Yeah, that one came out the hand late, and he was trying to save it with a bit of body movement, trying to step it up. But now Peter will get one dart at tops for a break. That is enormous. And Merv is going to feel nauseated.
10 flag Peter to throw first.
Well, he was not feeling good earlier on this afternoon, Mervyn King. He might be feeling even worse than when he had an oncoming migraine, because Peter Wright might be about to extend his winning run to 9 consecutive matches over half a decade against his mate Merv, the man with whom he won the Gold Cup years and years, decades ago.
Just saw those guys in the audience with the chicken hats. They do good turkeys in East Anglia.
Yes, that is true.
So maybe we should say they're turkey hats.
Okay, let's do that. Peter Wright has to gobble up 276 points to
96.
close this one out, and Mervyn is trailing. Don't count your chickens, Peter. It's not over yet.
It's going to stay up top. Oh, what a dart that is. Forceful. A lesson for all you budding dart players out there.
100.
That dart is basically about Peter Wright saying to it, you do what I tell you to do. And he's going to leave topsy field, because that was a great guide for the 60.
Well, you know what? He went 4-3 down in this game. We said all he has to do is up it by a few percent, and that's exactly what he's done, because he fired in a 12 darter. He followed it up with a 15 darter, and he's looking at another 5-visit leg right now. And the average has climbed to the mid to high 90s. And Peter Wright's tally of wins against Mervyn King has climbed to 9 in succession.